Hi, this is Pat Fitzgerald, the VA loan guy. Today we're going to talk about single people buying a home together and what you need to know about it. All right, so today we're going to talk about single people that are buying a home together. And it just so happens that right now I have two separate files that are going through with boyfriend, girlfriend buying a home together, and I just thought this might be a really appropriate time to talk a little bit about this and what you need to do to protect yourself, because there's a lot more on the line than people typically think about. And you really need to have an agreement put together to protect yourself. What do I mean by an agreement drawn up? My advice is to get with an attorney and draw up an agreement. It doesn't have to be an elaborate one, but here's the thing. What if you break up after you close the house? What happens to the loan? What happens to the ownership? What happens if, God forbid, one of the two people passes away? What are the ramifications of that? What happens to the equity, as small as it might be, or it could be a more sizable amount of equity? So what I'm suggesting is have an agreement put together, get with an attorney, and yes, it'll probably cost you an hour or two of putting the agreement together, but get it notarized, and that way both sides are protected just in case anything happens. Several months ago, I had a situation like this happen where one of the parties passed away, and what this older couple didn't realize was that he didn't have a will. And so what happened was the widow left, who thought she owned the house completely, suddenly found herself in partnership in the home with his kids. And that's what happens when you don't have a will. So it's very important that you need to protect yourself, married or unmarried, by either having a will or an agreement that's put together, so the next person that's going to look at this, i.e. the judge possibly, they know the exact intentions of what that agreement looks like. So in the case of death, it doesn't automatically go to the person that's surviving. It's all about, does he have family or kids or something like that. But more importantly, what happens when the relationship ends? What about the equity in the home? What if one of the partners put down the down payment and the other one didn't? Should the percentage of ownership be adjusted? How is that person protected in case it comes time to unwind this relationship? And then ultimately, what if the relationship ends and the person that's moving out wants to get off the mortgage? It's not that easy, because here's what happens. There's only three ways to get somebody off of that mortgage, and that is if the house is sold, or if the house gets paid off, or if it gets refinanced. If the person that's decided to stay in the home is going to refinance it, there's always a possibility that person may not qualify for the loan that they have, because they no longer have their partner's income that they had originally when they're qualified. So there's all kinds of things that can happen here, but I'm just suggesting, when you're buying with somebody that you're not married with, make sure that you cover yourself with an agreement. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just a simple one, but get it drawn up, get your signatures notarized, and that way when something happens, and if it does, you've got it covered. If you have any questions, I'm always available to you. I tell everybody it doesn't cost a penny to talk, so call me at 210-215-4400. Once again, 210-215-4400. Thanks.